Hello, I'm Jane Dutton with a wrap of the week's news.
This is Eyewitness News.
Sekhu-khune United player Shaune Mogaila has been released on 20,000 rand bail. The soccer player will return to court next year on February the 4th. He turned himself over to police after he crashed into another car going down the wrong side of the road, which claimed the life of 9-year-old Khomolemo Mavimbela. On Wednesday, Khomolemo was travelling with her mother, Kio, and a 13-year-old neighbour when their vehicle was struck by the player's luxury car. The family of the 9-year-old believes there is substantial evidence to secure a conviction. Khomolemo died at the hospital while her mother and neighbour were rushed to a nearby hospital where they are still in ICU.
The prosecutor...
I too was expecting more, but prosecutors, magistrates and judges, they know what to do and take the decision. We will see what happens in the future.
The footballer's defence team has indicated it will oppose the media's application to broadcast the court proceedings. And it's not over yet for Zizi Kodwa. The National Director of Public Prosecutions will review the decision made by Gauteng's Director of Public Prosecutions to withdraw the corruption charges against former Minister Kodwa. The NPA has indicated that it received a request from the Priority Crimes Investigating Unit asking NPA boss Shamila Batoy to re-evaluate the decision by Andrew Chauke. This is in relation to allegations that Kodwa received nearly 1.7 million rand in kickbacks from his co-accused Jehan McKay in exchange for securing government contracts for his tech company. Kodwa's charges were dropped earlier today. On the day Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana released his midterm budget, we heard that government has forked out more than 17 million rand to file its memorial in the International Court of Justice this week in its genocide case against Israel. The memorial filed on Monday contains South Africa's main arguments to support its assertions that Israel is intentionally wiping out Palestinians living in the occupied territory of Gaza since it launched a war on the area in October last year. This in retaliation for an attack on more than 1,000 civilians by militant group Hamas last October. Minister of International Relations Ronald Lamola said costs incurred at that time were largely related to travel, accommodation and security for himself and the legal team. Both Lamola and his predecessor, Naledi Pandor, have in the past vehemently dismissed suggestions that government was receiving foreign financial aid to pursue the case.
You can't deal with unemployment, you can't deal with poverty, you can't deal with any of these things if you can't deal with that because the economy is not growing.
Godongwana says the budget policy statement he tabled in Parliament on Wednesday is designed to make it more enticing for the private sector to invest in critical infrastructure projects.
No, I'm not privatizing. I'm doing a simple thing. I'm introducing competition into the sector than having a monopoly in the logistics sector.
Godongwana has also defended the reforms being introduced to turn around the performance of key parastatals like Eskom and Transnet. A pesticide used in agriculture and to kill rodents is what killed 6 children in Naledi, Soweto 2 weeks ago. Health Minister Aaron Motsoaledi says swabs are being tested to determine whether the pesticide that caused their deaths was present at their local spaza shop.
The results show that the cause of death is unequivocally organophosphate. At the present moment, samples that were taken via swabs in the various spaza shops in Soweto have been sent to the National Health Laboratory Services, and we are still waiting for the results. This means that while organophosphate was found in the bodies of these children, we are still waiting to see if the organophosphate was also found in the spaza shops so that we can scientifically link the events.
The organophosphate that was found in the bodies of the children that passed away in Soweto is called turbifos. Turbifos is a pesticide designed to kill bugs like black maize beetles, false wireworms, and rootworms. And because it's an organophosphate, it contains neurotoxic chemicals. This means it affects the way your neurological system works. In essence, it's affecting the organs that sustain life. So if turbifos is this deadly, how on earth has it found its way into the hands of ordinary South Africans? Turbifos and organophosphates in general are only allowed to be used by farmers, but somehow it's making its way into informal settlements, where it's used to regularly kill rats and cockroaches that are attracted to high piles of rubbish. If you're afraid you may have been exposed to turbifos or any other kind of poison, or if you need advice on a safer alternative to rid your home of pests, please call the Poison Information Helpline on 086 155 5777. This is Nika Richards from Eyewitness News.
Identity and travel documents of former Miss South Africa contestant Chidima Adesina and her Mozambican-born mother are being cancelled. The Home Affairs Department says they are also facing probable fraud charges. Adesina's case reached Parliament in August when the public questioned her heritage and nationality after she became a finalist in the Miss SA pageant. She travelled with her mum to Nigeria last month, where she won the Miss Universe Nigeria pageant. And emergency teams in Spain are continuing to search for people feared missing after flash flooding killed at least 95 people in the south of the country. Hundreds of soldiers have been deployed to Valencia, one of the worst hit areas, to help with the rescue efforts. Some areas can only be reached by helicopter. Footage uploaded to social media showed floodwaters causing chaos in some areas, dragging cars through streets and leaving some people clinging to trees. Botswana will have a new president soon. The governing BDP party has lost power after nearly 6 decades, falling into fourth position. So Mokgweetsi Masisi is out, and human rights lawyer Duma Boko from the main opposition Umbrella for Democratic Change becomes the president-elect.
I wish to congratulate the opposition on their victory and concede the elections. I am proud of our democratic processes and I respect the will of the people.
And Zambia has launched an injectable HIV prevention drug. The drug blocks the HIV replication process and almost eliminates a person's chance of contracting HIV. Zambia is the first country in sub-Saharan Africa to offer it. That's it from me and the team. Have a good weekend and don't forget to download the EWN app.
Eyewitness News, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, log on to ewn.co.za or ewn.mobi.